Hello and welcome to the OCS 2019. We are here for the Tiebreaker Day.
Here we are.
Yeah, we have absolutely made it. I am your host, Bryce Agent Paul. Next to me, Timmy Carbon Wendell. Got an MY attached to your name. How you doing?
I'm doing really well. Thank you for having me. I'm excited to cast some Oceanic Challenger series tonight.
Yeah.
Tiebreakers, games that matter. Very exciting. A lot on the line. Gauntlet spots. I think there's 2 gauntlet spots.
Yes.
Up for grabs today.
Yes, there is. So we had a little bit of confusion at the back end of the regular season. So we will bring up what is happening today and have a little bit of an explanation as to what happened with the rest of the league. So we effectively ended up in a situation where the top 4 is locked into the playoffs. Congratulations to Mammoth. They have the first seed. Dire Cubs sitting at second. Legacy and Mprox third and fourth, respectively. And then we have all of the teams on your screen right now, randomly seeded into what will end up being a double elimination standard bracket with 2 teams progressing. So that means first game, Gravitas versus Chiefs. Winner will go into game number 3. Then we'll see game number 2, Bombers Academy versus Order Academy. They'll go over to game number 4, and then winners go up, losers go down. If you lose twice, you're out of the tournament. Unfortunately, you cannot get a crack at the playoffs gauntlet, but tiebreakers end of the season. Every single game here today matters.
So basically, if you win 2 games in a row, you're straight through to the gauntlet, and otherwise you need to play all the way to the end.
Yep, and that's a good time.
Yeah. I mean, Gauntlet is what everybody wants. We're all trying to play finals. It's the most exciting time of any season. So yeah, very curious to see who gets there over the line.
Yeah, certainly. And it's kind of interesting, I think, because there's always the potential to not have tiebreakers at the end of the season. I feel like OCS kind of randomly, more than ever, always gets into a situation where it's like BO1, a lot of the teams, like there's a lot of teams in the league. You get to the end of the split and there is just naturally a lot of tiebreakers happening. But given that we have had such a relatively large patch in 9-14, I feel like this is a good situation and kind of a good omen for the guys that did make it, right? They got to the end of the season, they locked themselves in top 4. Now they get on what will be, I think, a fairly different patch. Some tape to look at are the guys that are going to be fighting up towards the end of the gauntlet, right?
Yeah, I mean, that is true. At the same time, best of ones. No, I guess that the qualifying teams will have played 2 games today. Yeah. So that's at least something to go back and watch. But yeah, early days of a patch like this, it's always sort of the blind leading the blind, and whoever wins is the guy who knows the meta better. You know what I mean? We label that team as like, well, they've obviously got a good read on the meta, but it could just be that they played really well that day, and really they don't have a good read at all. But then, you know, the team who's playing them is like, well, obviously the new Pike is OP, so we got to ban Pike. But then, like, you know, a month down the track, it's like, oh, well, actually, Pike is not at all meta.
He's literally the worst champion in the game.
Like, so I think there's a tendency to label like the winning teams as having a good read on the meta, but I don't know. I think a lot of it comes down to like just how you play.
Yeah, I think like it is definitely a useful skill to have like reading on the meta. Like some teams naturally are very quick. SKT is a prime example of a team that has notoriously been very slow at reading the meta. Like any of their MSI runs, any of their world runs, it's like the start of the tournaments from arguably like at times literally the best team in the world by a country mile. It's just
and they
slow.
Just don't know
right?
what's going on.
Yeah, and it's like they rock up and it's like, all right, like what are you guys doing?
It's like, can I see your notes?
Yeah.
Like, new patch, exciting. A lot of new champs, a lot of changes to incorrectly talk about. Wait, like, how does a Kali W work now? I don't know. Okay. No, new patch, new games. Juves is playing.
Juves is playing. That is going to be it, right? So all of the teams sitting 6 and 5, as I kind of mentioned, and no one has beaten everybody else in that 4 group. So we are in this tiebreaker bracket where a bunch of the teams are taking games.
It's actually crazy how even it is.
Yeah.
Like, it's like, I don't know what the odds are of like this happening, but it seems low to me. like it shouldn't have happened.
Yeah, right. Because like to rattle it off, I have it written down right in front of me. Like Chiefs, they lost to Order. Gravitas Academy, they lost to Chiefs and Bombers. Bombers, they lost to Chiefs. And then Order Academy, they lost to Gravitas and Bombers as well. So we're getting into like the latter end stage of this season, and it is kind of whack here. This is going to be the playoff bracket that this tournament will be feeding into. So you can see the grand final all the way far right of your screen. Top 2 seeds get a bye straight into the semi-final round. So you can see Dire Cubs and Mammoth sitting, just chilling, getting one bracket through for free, basically, based on seeding. And then the winners today will play off against Legacy Genesis and Mprox for sitting back end of that tournament.
I really like this bracket. Like, just looking at it, I really like that format.
Yeah, okay.
As opposed to like the gauntlet run, like running like fifth through
Yeah,
the
like
second.
game after game after
Yeah,
game.
like I mean that also is extremely entertaining to watch. But just looking at it there, like you really get rewarded for finishing on top of the table.
Yeah. Like there's tangible
like
benefits. Yeah.
Which there is in the other gauntlet too, obviously. But like I like that no one gets seeded straight to the grand final.
Yeah.
I don't know, just look cool on screen.
Yeah. Okay, so first game of the day is going to be Gravitas Academy versus the Chiefs. Now, the big point of contention you already mentioned is going to be bottom lane for Gravitas. So there's a tournament currently going on. I'm not sure where, Overseas International. And MLG is playing over there for University of Auckland. So lacking their support here. Juves is subbing in for week number 2. He was in place of Retribution last week. Had a bit of a roughie, but now on the other side of the bot lane duo, see how he fares up against Wei and Nausicaa.
Sierra Nectin ban. We do have Guapi back on the side of Gravitas Academy, which I think is a really big deal. He's I think he's an extremely talented player, very young. Earlier in the season, the games that I casted, I think he played in exceptionally in pretty much all of them. I remember talking a lot about how he was carrying Gravitas over the line. So I think, yes, it does hurt to lose MLG, but I think the addition of Guapi should give them some confidence.
Yeah, certainly, because I think Gravitas is a team that, like, over the course of the split, found some troubles, right? Like, when Rival was stepping in, where they lost Guapi, like, you liken the games you watched in the very early season, was, like, the Gangplanks, the Olafs just running over the map.
Even just the Ornn.
Yeah.
Who actually is sort of slowly creeping into the meta at the moment.
Okay.
I think Ornn is seeing a little bit more play right now, like with the last patch and with the coming patch. So maybe we'll see the Ornn.
Yeah, okay. So bans coming thick and fast, already taken off the table. There's a couple of the guys I expected. Renekton got a straight buff on this patch.
Yep.
Now just kind of
break shield on his W.
Shielding, yeah, with the empowered W. Aurelia, still super powerful. Nico got a little bit of a hit, but she gets banned away. That is a Karma lock-in first, and she did not get touched whatsoever in 9-14. So
actually sort of got buffed.
Yeah.
With a true sight on her root now, so she can reveal stealth, well, invisible. We had this discussion today about how many different terms there are for not being able to see someone. But in any case, she now gives true sight on her root. Cassio and Thresh. I like Nausicaa Thresh. I like when Nausicaa plays hook champs.
Yes.
Cassio got changed.
Yeah.
There's no minimum cast range on her W anymore, so she can just throw that on her feet, which is cool. But her E also, I think, got nerfed. They hit the healing on that. So I'd be curious to see what the new skill order is. If it's like Q max, like we used to see with the poke, or whether it's still E max. Like the damage is still there, just not the healing.
Yeah, okay. Hook champ is going to be the response here. Nautilus into Thresh as an age-old matchup. I heard some inklings behind the scenes.
Is it Naught that beats Thresh or Thresh that beats Naught?
I think if you literally ask different support players, they'll give you different answers.
Because I always thought, because I know, well, I feel like one of them destroys the other. That was the intention I always got. I just can't remember which now.
Nautilus in lane, I would say, definitely has the advantage.
Right.
But I would never go as far to say that Nautilus like destroys Thresh.
Yeah, okay.
I think, like, yeah, given this sort of thing, Nausicaa is like very happy to just blind the Thresh, knowing that the matchup could be slightly bad. But a lot of Thresh matchups are like that. On paper, straight up 2 versus 2. He's not like the most reliable champion, right? If you get gank assist, it's like, he's very skill gated. Like a Flash Lantern gank could just win you the game on bottom side of the map and kind of run over that place. So it is interesting. The Yasuo lock-in is also one. I'm expecting Wei to be able to play that one on the bottom side if they are going to lock it in so early with the Cassio. But obviously not locked in.
I'm pretty sure Beats can play Yas. I think Beats has a pretty good Yas.
Yeah.
But yeah, we'll have to see where that goes. They're banning top champs at the moment, so could be that it's going top. Like could be triple flex. I've never seen Pope play Yasuo, but it's possible, I suppose.
Yeah. Pope has been on the Chiefs Academy lineup for the last couple of weeks, obviously, as TN goes up and towards the OPL. He was playing the start of that one, so coming in at the back end of the season. Kindred, Gragas, GP, Akali bans are curious. We were kind of hitting on a bunch of the biggest changes of the patch. Like Aatrox is one. He hasn't received any priority in this draft whatsoever. Not banned, not picked, not even looked at by anyone. But Akali...
yeah, no revive. Healing change. I think he's still strong, but...
he's definitely riskier.
Yeah.
Right, he got like straight up stat buff, remove the fact that he can resurrect himself. So in all ways, before he dies, he can do exactly what he was doing before that point. A little bit better. It is just like kind of riskier.
Yeah.
And you can get punished a little bit harder there.
Lee Sin into Olaf. Great matchup for Lee Sin. Historically. Lee Sin. No, great matchup for Lee Sin historically. I also like Lee Sin Yasuo as a combo.
Yes.
Gragas, I think, is quite strong on this patch. He was strong last patch already, I think. But He seems really good on this patch. Don't know about Kindred. Haven't seen a lot of Kindred. Haven't really seen a lot of Kindred in solo queue or people banning or talking about her. So I'm not sure where that comes from.
Also like a big Alani champion.
Okay.
Just like straight up at the start of the season, he was running over games. Very early leads in the Kindred, marks galore, get a couple of ganks off, and then you just scale into oblivion. So not necessarily a meta ban, but just taken away from the jungler of the Chiefs as a throwback pick. That's a Shen.
Okay. Well, I imagine that Shen squashes Camille. Like, she can't auto him and stuff. That's good, I suppose. Is you playing Camille?
No, there is
That'd be so
absolutely
funny.
no way. Yeah.
That'd actually be hilarious. Okay. Shen. So no range units other than Cass.
Yeah. They have very strong carries, right, respectively. If they get the fight that they want on the hands of Chiefs, right, if Cassio, like if people are walking into Cassio, which, mind you, a Nautilus, a Karma, a Camille comp kind of just has to run at you. Like if they're going to engage a team fight, it is very straightforward, very linear. But in terms of like they have knock-up potential, you mentioned Dragon Rage, Lee Sin. Thresh has play potential to set up for Wei. So interesting stuff that Chiefs have locked in already, whereas much more standard and much more akin to what we would have expected last patch here from Gravitas, right? They've got a couple other power picks. The Karma goes into a solo lane. Nautilus is still there. Olaf is still there. Not all that surprising here coming out of the blue side.
No. I do like the Gravitas Academy. Doesn't look like super difficult execution. It's sort of pick some CC, pick tempo jungler, and then you just Mantra E your way into a team fight.
Yeah.
So I like that. We'll just have to see how, why not, where there's this matchup. When I say Lee Sin is a really good pick into Olaf, it's because Lee Sin generally wins the 1v1, especially at 6.
Yeah.
But Olaf definitely has the potential to play around the Lee Sin. Like, Lee doesn't clear as fast as Olaf does. Olaf can still get that early one-level lead. So we'll have to see whether Alani can make it work. Shen is a really big question mark for me because it's not a champion we've seen very much. When I think about the matchup, I imagine Shen does just fine into Camille. But at the same time, Guapi is a very good player. And if you don't make use of Shen's ultimate, he becomes pretty useless. Yeah,
it is kind of super punishing in that regard, right? It's obviously a negative matchup up on the top side and does kind of skew the game somewhat, which I think you're alluding to. It's very difficult to pick on what is potentially looking like a Yasuo in the mid lane or a Cassio in the bottom side, right? It's not the Yasuo-Thresh combination necessarily, but if you're trying to gank a bottom lane against a Shen cop post 6 can prove very difficult. I want to point out,
top side.
Lee Sin, one of the only champions that moves super far away from his actual model when he does the dance or the taunt, whichever one it is when he goes spinning into Narnia. And Alani was sitting in his jungle, just procking that one right there, so...
Who's the other one? Graves.
Does he move?
Graves, like, dances in a circle.
Yeah.
And you could dance yourself into the wall.
And you just hit him. You're just inside the terrain. It's like
you return out of the wall quick enough that there's not actually any, like, strategic use.
Yeah.
But, like, it is funny to, like, you're in a bush, but actually you're in the wall. But you're actually not in the wall.
It's just like Nintendo 64 GoldenEye. You're just in the wall, but you can kill people still. It's, kind of obnoxious, but...
Beats in the bot lane. Okay. Neither team starting bot side. Both players opting to start top camps. Gravitas, they look for the blue buff leash cheese, but no leash means no cheese.
Yeah. Not going to be face checked or anything, and I like that play coming out. Nautilus, so much CC level 1, and you expect Lucian, given enough time, will probably dish out a little bit more damage than the Cassio without having to expend so much of a mana pool. If that's like an E-start, can throw it willy-nilly, but...
Hang on. Okay. So Hot Shelly's gone top lane with the Karma. Has taken Klepto as well. So this is... I don't know. I really like these lane assignments.
Yeah.
Because I imagine Camille into Yas. I imagine Camille does pretty good in that matchup. And then this is just going to be free money for Hot Shelly. Pretty much for the rest of the game. I mean... It is gankable.
Yeah, gank threat is the only thing that
flash,
Shen,
into Lee Sin Q, but other than that, I mean, this, I really like the plan here out of Gravitas.
Because it is a little bit harkening back to when top laners were going Spell Thieves, and I'm forgetting the name for what we called that, where they just like weren't hitting anything. Everybody was running Spell Thieves, everybody had a Sightstone.
You would only poke each other, and you couldn't last hit creeps.
Yes, because you saw like just a moment there, Hot Shelly, as we glanced at the lane. It's
pacifist.
It's just you cast your E, so you proc an ability, and then you get the Klepto proc as well. You walk up, and it is really weird to see a Karma E herself walk forwards and not really throw a Q, because you don't want to push the lane. You don't want to push too hard. It is just fishing for Klepto procs, and certainly the Shen was locked in here to counteract Guapi's ability to make things happen on the Camille. So yeah, super smart stuff from both of these guys. The bot mid switch up from Chiefs and the top mid switch up from Gravitas. Really weird lane assignments to start this one off.
Got a 400 gold discrepancy already. Yeah, small CS lead in jungle and top. Someone must have procced some gold sacks or something.
Yeah.
Not sure where that came from. Alani working on the topside crab. Why Not has just taken the bot crab as a hook lands.
Okay. Hook lands second time, though. Retribution gets ignited off the back end, but Gravitas certainly able to pick up the first blood. 1-for-1 is traded, but bot side starting this one off very quickly.
And that is not the trade you're looking for if you're Gravitas Academy. Yes, at least Retribution got the kill, but this wave is not in a good spot, and Beats has teleport as well. So losing that CS is going to hurt in the long run.
And you can definitely see the play they're looking for. Their jungler is on the bottom side of the map, so by the League playbook, yes, it's a good time to pick a fight. They also have the heal to TP advantage of the combat. But the fact of the matter is that they did get traded on. Beats recalls anyway just due to the dive pressure of the Olaf. But mid lane, Ignite is popped way is very low, but has the passive shield available. Nausicaa coming in from the back lines. Last Q barely scrapes the side of Camille, and everybody just backs away.
Guapi coming out on top in that 1v1 despite not having the combat summoner. So maybe you're seeing the benefits of this lane swap.
Yeah.
In action. Teleport's still available. Waze has to go home here, and I mean, Guapi has his pot too. He can still stay in this lane for a while. Doran Shield puts the pot. Looks like he's going to take the base though. Probably a smart move. Pick up some swords.
Yeah. It's absolutely chilling so far. All three members collapsing into the mid lane. Only summoner burnt was that Ignite, so the pain isn't that large, but certainly kill pressure goes down, and given the timing that level 6s are going to be hit by the mid laners fairly soon, you probably would have liked to have that summoner available. If you are the Yasuo, it's very easy when your lead has flash to just force something. It's a ward hop, it's a flash kick into an ulti, and there's a very broadcast, very reliable gank, but without the Ignite being there, does mean that pressure is dissuaded somewhat.
Shen W stops Klepto procs. Because they don't count as auto attacks, which is pretty cool. At least it seems that way from watching that interaction just then. 500 gold.
Yeah,
gold lead.
Very niche, you would expect. He gets to deny a cheeky auto here and there. It's kind of like small optimizations. It doesn't change the matchup too much. You can see Klepto gold certainly coming to fruition here. 300 gold lead is definitely not 5 CS worth.
Big wave getting shoved in. Why not just sitting in the wings there in case Alani decides to make a return to mid lane. But Lee Sin, nowhere inside, so Guapi gets to shove the lane in. We're going to get a fight in the bot lane in a moment.
Yeah, Thresh no flash. Hook actually lands onto Beats on the Cassio, but Shen ulti comes through. Juice falls incredibly low. Taunt lands onto one. Hook is secondary. Double TP in here from Gravitas, though. The solo lanes come in from the back. Retribution is going very far forwards on the front line. Is able to secure it. Juves does not get traded on, so double kill for the Lee Sin, yes, but a 2 for 2 overall.
All of a sudden, we have 5 people in the bot lane. Wei makes his down as well. Ultimately, an even trade, but a lot of resources expended there. 2 TPs, number of flashes, combat sums, ultimates, all used.
And I think definitely necessary from Gravitas' point of view. Coming into that one, they lost the 2v2. I say lost, they got first blood, but CS advantage certainly went their way. But now Lucian gets 2 kills. Guapi in danger. Flashes the potential knock-up. Q will go wide, but now Why Not is here. Flash lands the axe onto Wei. Still has a flash of his own. Guapi looking for it. No Hextech ultimatum. But that's going to mean that everybody does just walk away. Sonic Range not landing, and Nausicaa shows his face in the mid lane.
Traded flashes is all that comes out of that little skirmish there. Why Not trades his for the flash of Yasuo. Not a bad trade in the end. Olaf not super flash dependent. Then again, neither is Yasuo really. 2-0 for Alani.
Yeah.
I think as a result of that bot lane skirmish. I don't think he's based yet, so we'll see what he gets when he goes home. But there's an opportunity here for him to take the game over, I think.
Yeah, and
he can't be too far off level 7, and I imagine with these extra camps he's taken, he's probably pretty close to completed warrior, which is really the strongest point of the game for Lee Sin. Once you have that first completed warrior, it's so much attack damage, plus the CDR. It's really,
there it is.
You're in a position where your next kick pretty much will kill someone.
Really hurts, yep.
Yeah, as long as you don't fumble, you know, whatever the combo is, you more or less will kill whoever you find. So we'll have to see what the Chief Academy jungler gets up to in the next couple minutes.
Yeah. And that was really the result of the bot fight, right? I was saying probably necessary from Gravitas's point of view. They need to get Retribution back into the bottom side. He has paid what is basically a 1,500 gold tax to the Hex Drinker during that lane and did actually fall down CS-wise, but he gets 2 kills from that 5 versus 5 fight on the bottom side. Alani is the recipient of the kills on the other side. Ocean Dragon here started up. They have lane priority in mid and bottom, so probably very difficult for Gravitas to contest this one, and Chase will be able to secure it. That's a nice hook, though. Warthog over the wall. That's the kick into the ulti from Yasuo. Cass ulti lands onto the Olaf once again. Ragnarok pop, and why not just has to run back to his jungle. But a cheeky pick after the Dragon, and Chiefs walk away with both.
Yep, nice hook over the wall there by Nausicaa. Juve's looking to try and get some vision on the Dragon, perhaps. Not aware it was being taken, and unfortunately pays for it with his life.
Yeah.
First death of the game, though, which is not bad for an off-roll support player.
Yep.
As far as off-roll goes, and the relation to deaths, as we have a gank in the bot lane.
Retribution actually ran right there. Flash. Hook is not going to land. Retribution actually dishing out so much damage. The 2 versus 1 is on the cards. Lucian stepping up, hitting the thresh right now. Walks back. Hex Drinker is popped. Why not? No flash as Shen ulti comes down standing. United with his allies, but Torn is going to go wide. Heal gets popped there. Pope is able to secure the kill at the end, but why not chasing down the Cassio on the top part of your screen? He's going to fall incredibly low. Double kill for the Olaf. Triumph proc.
Ooh,
and
Juice with the peel hook
keeps him safe. Pope chasing the kill, but not able to find it. And Gravitas makes something happen despite the numbers disadvantage.
Yeah, no ultimate on Beats meant that Retribution had the opportunity to counterplay there. I mean, we saw him just dash forward straight into Cass's face, which is normally the only thing you don't want to do versus Cass, but Beats absolutely not expecting him to do that. Whiffs the poison, isn't able to kill him quick enough, and Retribution trading back with the damage and with the Hex Drinker. I was actually about to criticize the Hex Drinker before that happened, because I was like, is this lane really that tough that you need a Hex Drinker against Yasuo, Lee Sin, Shen?
Yeah, like a triple AD top side of the map. Yeah,
but it's a good thing I didn't say anything, because he immediately used it to turn around a 2v1.
Because I was surprised he dashed right at the beginning, right? You're looking at it's like, okay, get as close to my turret as possible, make the dive difficult, and then there was a wave coming as well, but plays his cards right, is able to dodge away from the Flash Flay hook combination. Flay obviously landed, but hooking in minions is troublesome.
Yep, we have the, which is sort of becoming a staple of Season 9 play, which is the lane swap into Rift Herald take.
Yeah.
Alani picking that one up for himself. He's got Warrior Tabis, which, as Lee Sin, pretty much means that you don't take damage from jungle camps anymore.
Lifesteal's enough.
Lifesteal, shield, and armor. And then they're going to switch straight back to bot to continue laning. Pope does have his TP. Probably won't need to use it, but might do it anyway. And then they're going to have this Rift Herald to be able to pick up a couple platings before the 14-minute mark. Juice uses his ult.
Yeah, lands the auto attack as well. Wei trying to play around the wind wall. Got a dash towards the turret. Hook is going to connect, and Retribution in from the flank picks that one up with the culling.
Nice little pick there. Juice having a pretty good game on the Nautilus so far.
Yeah.
Pretty big that Retribution ended up getting the kill as well. I mean, you don't really want it on either of the other 2 characters, and I think it's really important that Lucian has a good game.
Yes.
As far as damage goes, they're sort of lacking. I mean, yes, there is the Camille, and yes, Olaf is relevant in the early game, but he's probably going to transition out of damage, I imagine. I mean, he does have an extra sword. Could be Black Cleaver, but
yeah, that's probably going to be the extent of his build.
Yeah, for this Karma comp, it's really important that Lucian isn't in the bin. So, yes, he's died 3 times, but he's now picked up those 3 kills and can't be too far off his balk.
Yeah, it's a little bit of a turret trade looking right now. Shelly popped by the hands of Alani, looking to take down this bot tier 1 turret in the mid lane. It looks like Gravitas are getting dove on. They wanted this turret. Chiefs are going to win the race. Olaf incredibly low, as are his teammates, but
how do they all survive that?
Yeah, flash away from the Lee Sin, not able to lock them down. Mobius gets popped from Juves, and you see him boost it towards the top river. Doesn't want anything to do
with
Nausicaa. I love that moment when your Mobies kicks in and it's just like,
I can juke now.
See ya. Runs all the way to top side.
Retribution trying to hold this tower, but 2v1 is pretty spooky, especially when you don't have much health or mana. Does have the flash available, but you don't know if you really want to burn flash for a few platings.
Yeah, Casio also has the ulti and the flash available, and on this patch did lose like the minimum cast range on the W, so a flash grounding is a genuine possibility coming through here. I think they did also just slightly nerf the range, so her ability to make things
all
happen.
In.
Hochelli's found the route onto Nausicaa, no flash available from the Thresh. Flay and Stand United comes through, and the hook is on. Alani connects the Q. Hochelli flashes to safety, but is it going to be enough? Juves looking to turn this one around, but the rest of the boys from Gravitas turning this one. Why not? Flash axe onto the Casio. Flashes galore, and everybody walks back to their jungle.
Yeah, a couple flashes burned there. Mid priority is going to go over to Gravitas. We'll see whether they continue to siege this mid tower or whether they don't. The answer is not. They walk into bottom side river, looking for some river control. Perhaps looking to threaten the Drake. Air Dragon. Pretty good dragon to get, I think, when you have move speed abilities.
Yep.
Chiefs, however, they're not done yet. And why not? He takes a hook.
Was on vision. Has to pop the Ragnarok to get himself to safety. Curious to
see
if Gravitas contests this one. Ultimate from Camille does dodge out of the CC, but the Q connects. Alani. Lee Syndrome takes him into the backside, but the E will connect, takes down that kill. Very nice pick. Hook on round number 2. Nausicaa finding his mark. Lucian flash dash into the wall.
That hurts.
Last auto attack is going to connect, and Chiefs, this Dragon Wall is the best thing to ever happen to them.
Yeah, I mean, a little bit of out micro there. Nice outplay from the Chiefs from a few different members. Alani hits the Lee Syndrome the first time, but has the
stopwatch.
The stopwatch and baited everyone, including us.
Yeah.
Manages to pick up that kill, and then Retribution trying to peel for Guapi. Fails his dash over the wall, forced to flash, and then dies anyway. It's Pope winning the unwinnable 1v1.
Yeah, may have found a taunt underneath the turret. Not too sure. I want to highlight Nausicaa. A couple of things he did that fight. A, dodged his own Yasuo's wind wall. I respect that. Sometimes the team fights can get confusing. B, he went for the Selly Berry combo.
What's that?
Which is walk left, shoot your skill shot right.
Okay.
He walks left at the Lucian, skill shot goes right, connects onto Retribution, and is able to lock him down. Juves looking for the play though. Ulti lands onto the Olaf. No Ragnarok for a couple of seconds, and Juves may have lost his life for this one. Everybody piling into the mid lane though now. Olaf gets the kill, gets himself to safety. Bork is popped. Hook connects round number 3 there from Nausicaa, and able to shut down the Olaf. 4-0 in and 2 is this Alani on Lee Sin.
This game's just getting faster and faster. I mean, it was pretty slow early on, but both teams just all-inning on site. Number of outer towers very low as well. I was going to say earlier that top lane was 1 auto away from death, so probably Hochelli just tried to commit as a hook lands.
Flash play. Going to connect. Aftershock does a little bit of service there for Juves and doesn't fall down to the turret.
Alani gives Juves a second chance. He says, look, I know you didn't want to die here. Let me kick you back out. Next time I won't be so kind. Next time I'll just let you die. But Juves getting away with a risky one there. Does burn the stopwatch though. You only get one of those, so yeah, Nausicaa going to have to play a little bit safer moving forwards.
Because I think that has happened for 3 players right now, right? Juves in the mid lane. Nausicaa has no stopwatch, and notably the Lee Sin picking up that kill over the Dragon Wall earlier. So a bunch of these one-time use cooldowns have been taken off the table, and kills have certainly been picked up in trade for them, but not going to be there for the rest of this one. Alani lying in wait. Doesn't have Dragon's Rage to pop the Ass ulti. W comes out. Lands the Q, connects onto the Karma, but TP coming through. Guapi is going to land onto the Yasuo, locks him down, but Stand United coming over the top. Taunt does not come out as of yet. Pope maintaining that one. Axe was a little bit too far to the right, but Hookshot is on the cards. Predict from Nausicaa is not going to land, but Flash from the Shen may have just been enough safety bought. And
for a moment I thought why not was just going to continue running and then just auto the tower and keep fighting.
Oh true, it's on one hit.
Yeah, I was like, that is actually going to be the most, I really wish he, because I was like, that's going to be the most alpha play ever.
Yep.
But no, does a smart thing. Juves walking around the Miasma looking for this hook, lands it.
Yeah, he's going to land it. Aftershock pops, so the counter kill is difficult. Knock up lands onto the Casio. Flay range is there, and that's going to be a dead Camille. Who do they give the kill to? Alani, unstoppable. 5-0 and 2 on the Lee Sin. You mentioned on the skirmishes buy, it's his game to carry, and certainly trending upwards here for the Chiefs.
Yeah, Guapi unfortunately trying to hook shot onto the minions there. Doesn't work that way. Pays for it with his life.
Sure.
Juice is, as far as aggressive supports go, I think Juice has got to be up there. Because every time I've seen him on screen, he's trying to flash forwards or hook or do something.
He's definitely trying to make Beats' life miserable.
Yes.
He's just wrapped around behind the Casio. I'm going to go ahead and say 17 times this game.
I think you're probably pretty close to the money with that guess.
Yep.
It feels like 17.
Yeah.
I mean, to be fair, a number of them have been successful. He only has one death. I also feel like maybe a few of his allies' death that you could chalk up to some of these engages.
Certainly. It's a very quick game, you mentioned. Early laning phase, slow, but as soon as one team fight started, it was kind of...
it was on.
Yeah. All across the map, everybody fighting for everything. It is really a game of fight after fight after fight. The small skirmishes left, right, and center. Haven't really seen a full-out 5v5 ever since the double TP to the bottom side, but every single time it's a hook connecting from Jews, it's a hook connecting from Nausicaa on the Thresh, and...
Yeah, I mean, both teams are...
getting amongst it.
Yeah, but they're both not really, like, team fight teams, I suppose.
Yeah.
I mean, I would say Gravitas sort of is. Like,
once they hit their spikes,
maybe.
right?
Like a 4-1. But certainly you want Karma Lucian, Mantra E, kiting, moving around all over the place. That's the sort of gameplay you expect to see. But both teams, you know, Yasuo, Shen, double TP for Gravitas, like... You do, like, I don't suspect we will see many 5v5s. Although, yeah, if I'm Gravitas, I'm definitely looking for them, I think.
Yeah. Right now, Chiefs on the other side of the map looking for their second Ocean Dragon. You can see so much vision control expended into the south jungle there. Pink Ward's incredibly deep into enemy territory, and for that price, they will very easily pick up this dragon, completely uncontested as they get to go catch their waves whilst the jungler solos that one down.
Yeah. Both junglers, I think, have played pretty well this game. But those 3 dragon secures, and I think the fact that he hasn't died, I think Alani's put in a really good performance. I mean, yes, this is a favorable matchup, but at the end of the day, you still need to actually do it.
Yeah.
So I think props to him. He's had a good night so far, and I mean, he'll be hoping that he plays a few more games, so hopefully see some more of this out of Alani.
Because it is best of ones here coming through in the tiebreakers, so winner of this match gets to play the winner of our second match there. Cool guys don't look at blue buffs dying, so Beats hits him with a poison, goes for the recall as well. But we now have hit 20 minutes on the clock. Baron spawned is on the map. You can see a little bit of vision traded back and forth in the pit. Pink Ward over the back of the wall from Chiefs, not pushed too far upwards given that they were taking the dragon, but Gravitas had some time, secured the crab, and now flipping their lane, so Hot Chelly just flinging spells underneath the turret into this Shen the entire game.
Shen hasn't really opted into magic resist either, and he's not really taking damage anymore. So Pope is in a pretty comfortable spot now. He shoves these waves super fast with the balmy Titanic combo. I mean, he's still not ranged, but I don't think Hot Chelly really poses a threat anymore.
It's not really the threat of the Karma, right? And it is also because he went for the Frozen Fist.
Hang on.
That is going to be a kick into ultimate. Hextech Ultimatum attempting to get himself to safety. Hookshot actually connects onto the terrain here. Everybody lying in wait for Gravitas, but just a couple of seconds away, and that is going to be kill secured there for the Chiefs.
Yeah, and Guapi feeling the pain this game. Got a couple deaths. Hasn't really finished any items either.
Oh.
Barely missing.
Opportunity looked at there. Full culling lands into the Casio, but Stand United expended. Pope unable to land the taunt, so no counter kill available. Gravitas just trying to make something happen elsewhere as their Camille fell down, but not able to make it stick.
Considers the all-in, sees how much damage his axe does, and says, probably not going to kill him before Thresh gets here.
I like those little damage checks in League of Legends. You know, you go back and it's like, oh, I finished a cleaver. Can I kill this guy without an ulti?
Yeah.
Like, Yasuo doesn't have his ulti. He can't even knock me up. I have Ragnarok.
Yeah.
Does he die? No. Okay.
Probably not.
Back away.
Merc Treads completed for Retribution.
Potential face check. Juves wards the bush. Hook is going to connect. Fox into the play. Yasuo ulti
already
just
up.
back up of cooldown. Is going to take down the Nautilus. TP's coming in though. Hot Chili lands. Karma, Mantra Shield over the team, but Chiefs are looking like an absolute rout right now. Taunt Cassio ulti lands onto multiple members. Flash hook flashed away from by Why Not, but 3 members dead. Hot Chili the only carry alive, and Chiefs have their eyes on the Baron.
Yeah, Juve's looking for something there. Drops the ward in the bush, but unfortunately tanks the hook. Baron take looking pretty free, double order, helping these guys to stay topped up. Beats still not run out of mana despite no blue buff. Baron gonna be pretty free here, but yeah, I mean, we almost saw that 5v5 that I think Gravitas were looking for, but unfortunately they were down a member by the time it started.
Yeah. If the TPs could come through a little bit earlier, right? If they commit to that one, Hot Chili lands, can keep Juves alive. Maybe he can get his ulti off. Maybe things can go a little bit better in their direction, but you have to credit Chiefs. The hook lands for the countless time this game. He's been landing some nutty stuff over terrain, lands it once again onto a Juking Juves with Moby Boots, and the comp is there. As soon as Lee Sin is in range, it's a very easy kick into Yas ulti. Wei gets access to the backline, and a single death just means a steamrolled team fight, and Chiefs gold lead is approaching the 5,000-6,000 mark here, and now with a Baron buff on all 5 members, certainly looking very strong in this one.
And if you're Gravitas, this is definitely not a comp you want to be behind on, especially not this time of the game. I mean, none of these champions scale particularly well, especially not when you look at who they're playing against in the Yasuo Cass, who are incredibly strong scaling champions. I mean, they're champions that sort of scale with skill as well as numbers.
Yes.
I mean, ultimately,
outplay potential will always be in their hands.
Yeah, Beats is no man's land.
Does not have the flash available, but that lands very easily onto the Lucian. Taunt connects as well from Pope. Hook looking for its mark, but is not going to be able to find it. Why not? Fairly squishy to the magic damage of Cassio. Flay is going to secure his death, and 2 picks out of almost a little bit of oversight from Beats, but able to turn that one around. The rest of Chiefs rock up and take them down.
That was a 2v4.
Yep.
That's the second time in 5 minutes that I've seen Retribution just dash forwards straight into Cassio ult. And at 3-7, not really putting in the performance that Gravitas fans might have wanted.
Random Yasuo death in the bottom side, caught out by the Nautilus, caught out by the Camille's. So Guapi gets his first kill of the game here. He's able to take him down, and shut down gold certainly goes their way. So actually a super useful kill, given they had 2 members dead. That was definitely an opportunity for Chiefs to flex their Baron, right? They had it on everybody.
Yeah,
they push mid, take down the inner, looking to float that top side. Untimely death there for the Yasuo means they do have to opt in for the full recall, and everybody goes back to base, spends their gold, but
I think a big part of it is
a bit of time.
Yasuo losing that Baron buff also.
Yeah.
Like, not having that Baron buff pressure in the side lane, I think is a really big deal.
Yep.
Because otherwise, it's just so annoying. You have to have someone there. As soon as you don't have someone there, you're just going to lose so much. But I think that relieves a lot of pressure. Now you can focus on the one lane, you know, that the 4 or the 3 are sitting in.
League has kind of got to a point in 2019 where if you don't build a specific comp to play through one lane, it is very difficult to play through one lane. Like, if you just throw all of your members into one lane and look to, like, take down a turret without any sort of side lane pressure is incredibly hard to make progress, right? Unless you've got, like, a Lux, a Morg, like, these spammable abilities. You've got a poke comp, a siege comp with a Caitlyn, maybe. Can be very difficult.
It feels hard to force 5v5.
Yeah.
Like, if you commit to one lane and they're just there, it's like,
oh, hey.
Baron doesn't give you enough to just commit to a 5v5 dive anymore.
Do you think so, actually? Like, it's not about, like, the commit to the dive, or it is just the respect that there is a very regimented other way, as opposed to, like, a lack of ability to dive with a gold lead?
You're saying that
do you think people
don't 5-man siege because they're not supposed to 5-man siege, as opposed to they don't 5-man siege because it doesn't work?
I'm saying, do you think people don't, like, 5-man just straight up dive a turret because there is, like, a very known alternative of just putting someone in a side lane and making slow progress, as opposed to, like, let's just 5-man dive the turret?
They don't dive because there is another option. I mean,
as opposed to, like, a lack of ability.
Yeah, but, well, I think if you had the ability, like if Baron, like you would do it. Right?
This is a very weird conversation.
Yeah, like I don't. If Baron gave you Ohm Wrecker and towers didn't work, you would die probably.
You reckon? See, I don't think so.
Okay, why not?
Well,
that's what I think. I think if you can die, if you could, that's the simplest way to win the game, right? This like the least thinking goes into just running a 5v5 team fight where you have a gold lead.
Yep.
And you're just like, I'm just gonna win this.
Yep.
And I feel like if that was a real strategy, then people would opt into it. It's like, well, we can do the complex thing that we might stuff up just through macro, or we might stuff up through timing, or we can do the brain dead thing, which involves us running forwards and then just winning the game.
Yeah.
I feel like people would opt into that a lot more often.
If it was so simple.
If it was that simple. And obviously Baron doesn't give Ohm Wrecker, but it's about how far can you pull that extreme back and it still makes sense. Like I would say it's really hard to die 5v5 at the moment because Baron doesn't give you a ton of stats like it used to. And also, I mean, people are just better at the game. And
better at side laning.
Yeah.
Becomes a more stable option, but this game has progressed 27 seconds.
I feel like we never reached a conclusion.
Yeah, I mean, the conversation was
just for like 5 minutes.
We're just going to go on too long. So,
yep.
Look, Baron spawning. Next team fight is brewing. Chiefs getting control of top side quadrant. Gravitas being forced out of their own jungle here as 10 seconds left on the spawn. You can see top laners on the other side of the map. Guapi attempted to push that one out, but now potentially has a purchase and was looking for a reset, but not going to pull the trigger on it.
Chiefs choosing not to start the Baron, instead looking for that blue side jungle control, trying to force a pick around Vision. Always a good idea.
Yeah, that hook very nearly connected onto Juves and is posturing again. That ward.
Just a mind game of how long can we not start this Baron?
Yes.
How long are... okay.
Commit is in from the Camille. True damage connects and Pope feeling the pain right now, but can he secure the kill? Hook shot onto the minions once again, but is enough to force out. That's a hook connecting. Ragnarok popped. Gets Why Not to safety, but that's a big cooldown burn. You can see Chiefs immediately turning onto the Baron, looking to force this fight with the cooldowns gone. Top laners are going to reset. Expect the TPs coming through. Alani connects the Q. Does not find the kick onto Lucian. Gets the flash out. Stand United used from Pope as well.
Looking.
So
Ping's going down onto Retribution. He's trying to heal as fast as he can off his creeps.
Does the Q connect? No. Dodged out from the Lucian, and Nautilus in a little bit of trouble as well. Tawny's going to connect onto Juice, but is he tanky enough? Heal comes out. Not enough to save the support there. Hook connecting round number 2 onto the Olaf. A fight on 2 fronts is brewing here. Big Cass ulti from Beats connects onto multiple members. That may have just been the pin with which this team fight drops. Chiefs get the ace. They're running up mid. That's going to be the game.
Retribution doing all he could there, kiting in the middle of the team fight, dodging between each Chiefs champ. Unfortunately, just so far behind, not enough damage. The autos don't count for much, and Chiefs Academy, I mean, in the end, make it look pretty clean. Never risked too much at any stage, just solid team fight victories and turned it into good vision control and ultimately a victory.
Yeah, super solid play here from the Chiefs. Coming into tiebreakers here today. Best of ones, first game versus Gravitas. And yeah, that certainly looked the goods. 9-0-6 performance from Alani there.
Huge.
On the Lee Sin. That was a monster. You mentioned it, like very early in the cast. He gets the skirmishes 2-0 after a early 5 versus 5 on the bottom side of the map. Absolutely ran away with that one. And every skirmish from that point went their way.
That's what you want to see from your jungler, you know, or from all your players really. Given the opportunity, can you carry a game? And what we saw just then was, yes, from Alani. He can. And those are the kind of players you want to work with. So, big props to him. Big props to the Chiefs. They'll move on to the winner's side.
Yes.
Awaiting the outcome of the next match, and they'll be hoping they can turn another victory into a gauntlet appearance.
Yeah, already, right? This was a week 11 where they actually lost to Order, another team in this tiebreakers here today, to get them into like the gauntlet situation. Otherwise, they just wouldn't have been tiebreakers whatsoever. So half the battle already done there for Chiefs Academy. That's 50% of the games they could potentially need to play here today. Take down Gravitas. That's a winner's bracket. One more victory and they find themselves in the playoffs. Gravitas, unfortunately, will be waiting on the loser's side of that one for the outcome of the next game. That's going to be Bombers versus Order. We'll be back in 3 minutes, guys, for game number 2. Don't go anywhere.